evening and welcome to game number 1 of today's Vape Nation Scrims. We are starting off in Erangel with a flight path going from east to west. We are starting off at Lipovka and finishing off at Georgiapol. We are looking at Team 9 at the moment, made up of BM and HZL, jumping first, heading north to Kameshki. We have Team 18, which is the TM clan, going down to Lipovka. We have team number 2, and that is ARG, going towards the farm along with Team 10 AE. We have Team 20 PG going north towards 70, along with Team 19, made up of AM UK. The other teams are jumping in various locations throughout the map, and we have a few heading down to Georgiapol. We are with team number 2 at the moment, who have gone down to shelter, so let's leave them to loot for the moment and go straight over to team number 5, which is RPG, who are just coming down. And 16-9 have the first knock and kill. And SK Hackett is knocked by 16-9 as Jubert finishes looting, and that is 4 kills for Team 69, taking down the SK team. And this all happened at Kameshki, and what we are now seeing is Team 16 going up against Team number 4. And Team number 4 got 3 kills there. That is a full team taken out. And it looks as though Atom did it all on his own. And Union Spirit is now coming in by vehicle. And Team 4 are still down at Gatka. We're now seeing the first circle, which has moved to the western side of the map, cutting off a fair few teams. We have Team 17 on the boundary line at the moment. That is Team AFG. Now this could be a really interesting position for them, because they have the ability to gatekeep the teams that are coming from the northeastern side, and by that I mean Team 19 Kamike. We have Team 19 Kami. We've got Team 9, which is Scobes, and HZL. We have Team 7 69. We have Team 18 15, the Nerd Team, Team 2 Fate, and Team 10 AE. Now AE are lucky in that they're on the military base at the moment. They are the only team on that island, and they have half of that land still in zone, so they might just be able to creep in that way, and if the zone does end up blocking them off, they may be able to go across water or take the bridge, but it will be interesting to see what choice they make. Now with Team 4, they are still at Gatka after wiping out 3 players. They are just finishing their looting, and then I assume they would move on to try and get a few more kills. So whilst we leave them to do that, let's jump straight over to team number 11, which is QL. And if we keep looking at the map for a moment, we have Team 14 to the north side by the housing areas of Georgiapol. We have members of Team 19 to their right, So they might end up finding themselves in a very unfortunate sandwich as time progresses. But let's see what happens there. But let's stay with them for the time being, as Team 4 have just found themselves right in the centre of a red zone. And as I'm sure you all know, the red zone is not here to make friends. And what we're seeing at the moment, if we just look at the map, we're seeing that most teams are separated from each other at the moment. Now, you have a tendency to find that with the first game. They're just trying to work out what the other teams are like, what their style of play is. And then as the games progress and we go through games 2, 3 and 4, I think the other team's style of play will also change to cater for the teams that they are going up against. So this is really just a team bonding session, if anything. Just trying to get to know what their teammates are really capable of and what they are going up against. And I think in games, when we get to around game 3, I think that is when we will really start to see these teams go on their own and make themselves known in this game. And I think that is why it's rather quiet at the moment. They're just not really wanting to take too many risks in the first game. But I think if we look at the map now, we're seeing Team 20 PG just come in on the right side of Team 11. And TM Oz has just got a knock and a kill on HZL. That is Team 18. And they have just got a kill there, sorry. They have one kill at the moment. And I think that is what we're now seeing also, in that because the blue zone is now coming in, a fair few of our teams are in vehicles at the moment. Some teams are choosing to share vehicles, some teams are choosing to take their own. Now, there is a benefit to both sides of that. When you are separated, that can appear to be quite daunting to other team members. Seeing loads of cars coming for them, they don't know who to go for first. Because logically, if you're seeing a car coming at you with a full squad inside, the most logical person to take out first would be the driver, because then the car has to stop. But with a set of cars, it just makes it a bit more uncertain. It makes it a bit more worrying. And obviously, the teams that you're driving towards, they won't know if you're part of the same team, a different team. They won't know whether they're coming or going. So that is a really good tactic in terms of really unsettling the other teams involved. And that can then make them slip up. But the benefit of having everybody in the same car is that if you're getting shot at, you can all start firing back. And if one person is knocked, then at least all the team is together and they can try and get that revive on. And now we can see DS Toxic taking down a member of QL. So let's jump straight over to Team 14, who I mentioned are near to Team 11, and it is Team 11 they're going up against at the moment. And Union Mercy has just got a knock, as has Lucifer there. as Team 13 now go up against Team 14. And Team 14 have Team 11 right behind them. Team 13 know where Team 14 are located at the moment. And we have members of Team 11 scattered around the Georgia Pole area. Now, Team 13 are rotating right. They're trying to get a different vantage point, a different location. And that appears to be working because they're getting shot on Toxic at the moment. And Team 13 are now driving and they have jumped out at the building just at 145. They are splitting a little with Lucifer now starting to push. Caro is just coming around, going in the bottom floor door and is now going to start pushing up. We have DS Toxic on the second floor. We have Dark on the top floor. Expert has now been taken out by Team 13. Dark has been taken out. And that is it with Team 13 taking out Team 14 there. And now what we're seeing is Team 20 going up against Team 17 at the moment. And now the zone has changed again. This time it has moved south a little bit. We are now half land, half sea. And End has just taken down Task White. So as we talk about the next zone, let's move over to team number 6 as Task Andrax gets the knock. And at the moment, as we can see, he was the last team member standing. And Task White is down. And Task Andrax has just got another knock on the End team. He was low on health himself, and unfortunately he is taken out by AFG Instinct, who now tries to get the revive. So as we were talking a moment ago, the zone has moved down to the south end, so we're now half land, half sea. Parts of military are still within play, but as we can see, there are no teams there at the moment. So Team 10 have come across the bridge and are now well within zone. We have teams 13, 11 and 19 that need to move down a little just to make sure they're not caught out by that blue zone. We have team 7 coming in from the eastern side, just moving in towards team 2. And I think because of the fact that there is only half land in this final zone, we will now start seeing teams starting to take risks. They're being forced to, they have no other choice. And here we go, the Union team are now back in play, getting a couple of knocks there. So let's go straight to Team 4 as they start scoping in. And as we can see, they have Team 9 to their north, they have Team 10 and 5 to their south, 7, 3 and 2 to their east, and 20 and 17 to their west. And Cammy has just taken out a and Union is just opening up the flare drop where he will find a DBS. So it looks as though this drop has already been taken. So Team 4 have now stopped their vehicle. They have Team 9 to northeast of 50. They are scoping and they do not appear to have noticed them as of yet. But they are high up on that hill, so they have the vantage point, they have the height. So that is a huge benefit for them, especially now that they are inside the zone as well. So that would mean that they can start gatekeeping the other teams. And because they have that height, it does make it difficult for teams to shoot upwards, because you have to consider the distance as well as the drop and the speed at which the bullet is fired. So that can all go against a team. So I think Union have made the right choice now by being so high up. So all they will need to do now is just play sensible. They know that a team's over there. They probably don't know how many players at the moment, because Team 9 appear to be staying inside. So they may have just noticed 1 or 2 members. And ARG has just taken down 69 stone with a grenade. So let's move straight over to Team 7. Team 2 are running in behind. And it looks as though Stone will be taken out. And he is by Lassifer there of ARG. We now have Sasuke trying to get a knock. He's shooting towards ARG but just doesn't manage to get any hits there. And Squalino has just taken down a member of PG. And what we're now seeing is Team 9 are going up against Team 20 PG. Squalino might have just made it himself. Just rotated around the right hand side, which was a logical thing to do because he was able to get some shots on Squalino there. But there are 3 members of Team 20. We still have Scobes, who is knocked, and none of his teammates seem to have got the revive on as of yet. Now if Squalino starts reviving as he is now doing, this is a perfect opportunity for Team 20 to start pushing. ARG Lassifer comes in again and knocks a member of Cami. We have Little Boy who knocked Amuk. And Worth It takes down a Little Boy there. And ARG get the squad wipe with BM Temp just jumping in to take down the PG. And now BM Temp is down with Squalino trying to get the revive. Scobes is now running in with a grenade, trying to get that knock on PG Babo there. And manages to get it with a brilliantly thrown grenade. We still have Voynal who is left standing. The grenade comes in, takes half of Squalino's health there. And Voynal was just trying to get away using a buggy, but is taken out by BM Temp there. So Team 9 at the moment have 4 kills. And the zone has changed again. And it looks as though in terms of buildings you will have parts of quarry and a couple of compounds, but the majority of it is open playing. We have Team 4 Union, Team 10 AE and a member of Team 17 AFG in zone at the moment, with the remaining teams still having to make their way in. With AFG Instinct taking down a member of RPG. So let's jump straight over as we see that Benji is knocked at the moment as Team 5 Nerd, with Nerd Levac taking down RPG. And RPG Crimes is now trying to get the revive. Unfortunately, he's doing it in front of a window, so that will give Team 15 the perfect opportunity to take some pop shots. But luckily Benji is up, so Crimes has removed himself out of harm's way. And Lassifer has just taken down Lucifer. And that is Lucifer 4 finished off by Grenade. We now have RPG firing towards Team 13. Instinct gets another knock on the left hand side. Shooting towards Team 13. Manages to get a knock on Kara there, as Instinct gets the finish on shootout. And we are now seeing that 2 members of Team 13 are down at the moment. It would be very sensible for Team 5 to try and rush in and get the finishing kill here. Especially as they're trying to get the revives, so they're vulnerable anyway, and they're distracted. They're also being fired upon by team number 2 over at East 105. And now we see Benji being knocked by Fate, and Optics managing to knock himself with a grenade. That Benji may not make it through to the next part of the game, but it looks as though he's just got to cover in time, with more smokes being thrown by RPG Crimes there, and they will now aim to revive their fallen teammate, with BM Temp getting a knock on 69 at Cobra with an M4. And Benji is up and has used a first aid kit to recover some health. They still have team 2 to the right hand side of them towards 75. Crimes is low on health, very much so at the moment. You have Benji trying to manoeuvre his way through the smokes at the moment. And that is it, with Benji being taken down by Little Boy there. And BM Temp gets the finish on 69 at Cobra there. And let's have a look. So Team 2 appear to be taking on Team 10 AE at the moment. Team 15, the Nerd team, are just firing on the left-hand side. They are being fired upon by Little Boy, but no shots are hitting their target. And that is Little Boy taken down with a play zone finishing ninja. Nerd Jojo has got the knock there, with Nerd Bajza getting the finish. Union comes in also and helps out, with Fate getting the knock on Nerd Bajza. 69 Suzuki gets a knock on the left hand side, with AE Monster getting the finish on Suzuki. Union Mercy takes down BM Temp. The play zone takes down TMK Doz. Union Deducci and Mercy come in with some knocks and kills on HZL. And the play zone gives the finishing blow. And Nerd Levac takes down Fate and Namek with a grenade there. And Nerd Badger takes down a member of ARG. We are 25 minutes into game number 1. We are near to the end. And there are 6 teams left with 15 players still alive. We are with Team 2 at the moment. Arj Aku, who has 10 kills as part of the team. And is outside of the zone, which starts moving in around 17 seconds time. And shots are now being fired towards Arj, who is driving straight for team number 10. A knock on AE Extreme there, but is then taken out by D1. We're with Union Atom at the moment, who's trying to make his way into zone. He is going straight for Team 15, who are on the right hand side towards 210 Southwest. And Union Atom, is being fired upon by Team 15 at the moment. And that is the Nerd team, who are taking cover behind trees, rocks and smokes at the moment as Team 10 AE start pushing in. As you can see, we now have our top 3 for game number 1. With Nerd and AE still playing for that first place. We have Nerd Jojo just going off by Union Atom at the moment, with Team 10 AE also pushing in. And a smoke grenade has just been thrown by Atom. And shots are still being fired. Jojo is finished, as is HRNEC. And Union Atom tries to push in to get that finishing kill. We have members of Team 10 AE also moving in, and Union Atom is knocked there and finished off by Nerd Bajza. So we now have 3 members of Team 4, with Union Mercy taking down a D1 Blind, who is now knocked, and Union Mercy is now rotating around the left hand side. And there's AE Extreme knocked by Union Mercy at the moment, and Mercy now trying to get to cover to heal up. And that is 3 members of Team 10 knocked at the moment. And Nerd Bajza takes down Union Spirit. Now Mercy is going to try and go in and get the squad wipe, which he does. So it is now Team 15 against Team 4. 2v3, with Team 15 split slightly amongst that hill. We have Mercy just going prone there. And what we'll do to finish out game number 1, let's go for a bird's eye finish. As we see Union Mercy and Duducci just running up the hill. We have HRNEC by the car. We have Nerd Levac by the rock, and Bajza up the top of the hill. With HRNEC just rotating around, shooting from the south end of Union. And HRNEC is taken down and killed by Duducci. Now Duducci finds himself out of the zone, but manages to get in, but is knocked by Levac. So it's now Levac against Union Mercy, 2v2 to finish game number 1. That is Duducci finished by Levac, Bajza being finished, and there we have it, the end of game number 1. And the winner is the Union team with a very impressive 16 kills. We have Nerd in second with 6. We have AE in third with 2. We have QL in fourth with 1. We have AFG and END in 5th with 4. And we have ARG and Fate in 6th with an impressive 10 kills there. If you have enjoyed this stream, please follow the channel with new content added daily. We will be back in just a moment for game number 2. This is Vape Nation Scrims. I am Ab Summer, and we will be right back.